our group assignment entitled A Comparison Solid Waste and Scheduled Waste. What is waste? Waste is usually regarded as consisting of materials that are no longer considered of sufficient value to retain and which are subsequently being disposed. Nowadays, every institution is producing both toxic and non-toxic waste at unpredictable rates due to the improperly managed. However, with the increasing rate of solid waste and scheduled waste produced, awareness of public and regulation will be taken care of so that institutions will be involved into one or more aspects of this waste management process. Next, what is solid waste? According to the general definition, solid waste can be defined as an unwanted and discarded materials that can be solid materials, liquid materials, and semi-solid materials. Its sources depend on land and use and zoning. Solid waste also consists of several types such as residential and commercial, institutional, constructional, and demolition, municipal services, treatment plant sites, industrial and agricultural. Then, what is scheduled waste? Different from solid waste, scheduled waste is defined as any waste that falling within the categories of waste listed in the first schedule of the Environment Quality Regulation 2005. Apparently, most of the waste can be classified under hazardous waste that consists of hazardous nature such as toxicity, flammability, explosivity, corrosivity, and biological infectivity. Scheduled waste can be produced from different sources, includes hospitals, treatment of timber, petrol storage, painting, service of vehicles, and agricultural and dry cleaning. And everyday usage of these activities that use toxic and hazardous materials can harm all the living things due to the production of schedules of hazardous waste. Hence, scheduled waste must be approved by special management to dispose and treated at only prepared premises in order to prevent any consequences to the environment and living things. For the objective, the overall objective of this study was to compare the solid waste and scheduled waste in the aspect of sources, type, legislations, and ways to handle it. The specific research objectives were: first, to collect and characterize waste generated from Central Laboratory CL in UMP. Second, to investigate the waste management practice in UMP. Third, to establish the level of awareness on waste management policies and legal frameworks among students and staff of the UMP. Fourth, to determine the challenge faced by UMP in managing the waste.
The scope of study was carried out in institution at University of Malaysia Terengganu with a focus on approaches to compare waste management that produced at Central Laboratory. Specifically, it addressed source of waste characterization, waste management process, and the policy and legal framework governing them, as well as the challenge focus faced in managing the waste. Hence, data collection was aimed to collect the amount of solid and scheduled waste produced from Central Laboratory in 1 year. Site visit to the scheduled waste store was conducted on 22 November 2018, which is located in PPSA UMT. There was no attempt to collect the waste and undertake any laboratory analysis of the waste.
Next, methodology. The duration of our project is from week 2 until week 10 because of our scope at Central Laboratory. So we went and interviewed some of cleaning staff who were responsible to cleaning up the Central Building, the Central Laboratory Building. We also went and interviewed Mr. Kapri and Muhammad and asked about on how the solid waste and hazardous waste in the Central Laboratory is managed. We also obtained documents relating to the type of hazardous waste used, which are classified according to the location of the use of such hazardous waste and such hazardous chemicals. We also went to hazardous chemical storage. We were allowed to enter and look around the store with the help of Mr. Muzafi. Any waste chemical that have been carried out in the laboratory will be sent to the storage. The waste of hazardous chemical will be there for.
Now, I'm going to explain to you the comparison of solid waste and scheduled waste in Central Laboratory. First, let's focus on the waste generation, where for solid waste, it involves lab staff, lecturers, and students who are the main contributor to the solid waste. Then, for scheduled waste, the source of waste are include chemical materials, waste from broken lab apparatus, and disposable equipment. Now, we can focus on the waste handling. For solid waste, it's more simpler, where the cleaner at Central Lab will collect from the dustbin, and the solid waste are grouped together behind the Central Lab. Okay, for waste handling, the solid waste are simpler, where the cleaner at Central Lab will collect from the dustbin. Solid waste are grouped together in a plastic bag. All the solid waste are placed in one area behind the Central Lab, and the truck will collect the waste every day for every morning. Most of the waste are recyclable. For scheduled waste, it's more complex, where it needs a competent person who can handle the waste. And latex glove is a must to wear before handling the waste. For each component, specific container is needed. The scheduled waste disposed twice per year, as it costs more than solid waste. The scheduled waste is not recyclable. Next, for waste transportation, solid waste need lorry or truck, while scheduled waste stored at PPIMG lab first and then will be collected by responsible officer. For the waste code, solid waste is not applicable for that, and scheduled waste only 2 of the codes is needed: SW422, a mixture of scheduled waste and non-scheduled waste, and SW421, a mixture of scheduled waste. For regulation, we use Environmental Quality Act for scheduled waste.
From our survey in the Central Lab, we find the types of solid waste. This is plastic bag, polystyrene, cardboard, food waste, dead leaf, plastic bottle, the waste from the packaging of food and drink, and paper. Next. Okay, we find the data from Encik Muzakir, which is the lab assistant. The composition of scheduled waste in a year. For the classification hazardous waste, the carrying of the quality aluminum berhad for the group A, which is mineral oil waste, have a 1.13%. For the group B, waste of organic chemical that contain halogen and or sulfur that bigger than 1%, which is 7.17%. For the group C, waste contain halogen and or sulfur that less than 1%, 34.1%. For the group H, organic chemical waste that contain halogen or sulfur that less from 1%, which is 3.88%. For the group K, waste that contain mercury, which is 1.12%. For the group T, waste poison of pesticide, which is 1%. For the X, organic waste, which is 41.42%. And the last for the others, 11.04%. Next, here the sources of the scheduled waste, which is latex glove, dropper, filter paper, sulfuric acid, petroleum, COD waste, sulfuric acid reagent. Okay, but as a conclusion, we know that how to compare the solid waste and the scheduled waste for these properties, which is different types of waste from the waste generation, waste handling, waste transport, waste code, and the waste regulation. For the recommendation, we find the staff just combine altogether the waste. So the recommendation, we need to give an awareness for the staff to separate the waste. And second, students are not used to recycle bin properly. So for the recommendation, we need to do camping to make an awareness for students to clearly the important things of the waste of the recycle of waste. Thank you.